Oasis Audio presents Classic Starts, Gulliver's Travels. Retold from the Jonathan Swift original by Martin Woodside. Read for you by Rebecca K. Reynolds. Part 1. A Voyage to Lilliput. Chapter 1. The author gives some account of himself and his desire to travel. He is shipwrecked and arrives on shore in the country of Lilliput. I was raised on a small country estate in England. After my studies, I worked under a surgeon in London and set to learning what I could of navigation and mathematics. It would not do to trouble the reader with all the details of my youth. It's enough to know that my plan was to travel, and at the age of 22, I left for sea. After 3.5 years, I returned to London and married Mrs. Mary Burton. I planned to settle down then, but my greatest voyages, it seemed, still lay ahead of me. I accepted an offer to serve upon the Antelope, which was making a voyage to the South Seas. We were in passage to the East Indies when a violent storm struck the ship. 12 of our crew died, and the rest were in very weak condition when the wind drove us upon a large rock, splitting the ship. I swam as fate intended, and by that evening I reached shore. I lay down on the grass, which was very short and soft, and there I slept more soundly than I ever had in my life. It was just daylight when I awoke. I tried to stand, but found that I was unable to move. I was lying on my back, with my arms and legs strongly tied to the ground. I felt several slender ropes binding me from my armpits to my thighs. The sun grew hot, and the light began to blind me. I could make out a confused noise about me, but could see nothing but the sky. In a little while, I felt something moving on my left leg. It walked gently forward over my breast and almost up to my chin. Bending my head as much as I could, I saw that it was a human creature, not 6 inches high, with a bow and arrow in his hand and a quiver on his back. I felt several more of these creatures following the path of the first. I was shocked and roared so loud that the creatures all ran back in fright. Some of them, I was told later, were hurt by their falls. However, they soon returned. One of them, who ventured so far as to get in full sight of my face, cried out in a shrill but distinct voice, "Hekaina Tegul!" The others repeated those words several times, but I knew not what they meant. I managed to break the strings that fastened my left arm to the ground and loosen the strings that tied down my hair. I could now turn my head about 2 inches. There was a great shout in a very shrill accent, and I heard one of them cry out, "Togol, Phonak!" An instant later, I felt 100 arrows shot into my left hand. The arrows pricked me like needles. The men shot another round of arrows into the air, many of which fell on my body, though I felt them not, and some on my face, which I covered with my free hand. I decided it was best to lie still. My plan was to stay that way until night, when, my left hand already being loose, I could easily free myself. As for the inhabitants, I had reason to believe I might be a match for the greatest armies they could bring against me, if they were all of the same size as those I had already.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?